to set up. Those batteries, they be depleting hella fast. Oh yeah, let me show you this soundboard thingy.
It's this?
It's just no.
It's an app?
It's just an app. This is another microphone. This is
I see.
microphones to these.
I
And
got
you can
something
add
like
them
that.
through because it goes through Bluetooth, so it's connected through Bluetooth right now.
Uh-huh.
And there it goes. Oh, you can hear it through here since it's not like so that it wouldn't be like extra loud onto the stream while we're talking in the middle of us talking. Should be. That shit. Just a bunch of random.
It's good stuff, though.
Definitely some good sounds on there.
That's what she said.
And his name is John Cena.
It was John Cena. He said his effing name is John Cena. That's a classic sound from when they trolled that lady. It's like, there's gonna be no mother freaking wrestling super slam in this house. That was a classic sound.
We just nuked the building.
Yeah. I was messing with that.
It's cool. Got some good ones.
I mean, you could search for a whole bunch of other ones if there was like any other ones that you think are missing out of it. You just hit the search bar and search for it. I was, hold on. Is it here? No, here we go. Search for sound, yeah. And it'll look for sounds. Some of the classic ones, but there's like. I was just watching The Simpsons. The Simpsons is getting crazier and crazier every year. They had this airlines episode, and at the end of the episode, they're like, because it's like a airplane prison type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like cigarettes is not the preferred currency. Sexual favors are. It's like, yo, The Simpsons get edgier and edgier every single year. It's freaking
Yeah,
hilarious.
because you know what? It feels like Family Guy has pushed the bar so far that even though Simpsons are more family, they can start treading up more dangerously because they'll never be as crazy as South Park or Family Guy.
Yeah, exactly. South Park and Family Guy have made the bar extra high. But South Park is different than Family Guy. They have a better format, I believe. I like South Park way more than I like.
South Park, I think, is
Family
the
Guy.
best, just like overall.
Yeah.
It just has so many layers to it all the time. And then the other ones are just like comedy in disguise as a cartoon in a way. Whereas like South Park is just a reflection of reality.
Yeah. And it's just so far out that they go crazy with all their different analogies.
I'm looking for a pause. Somebody say something crazy. You gotta have pause. But I wanted like camera on pause. I don't want to like.
There you go. Maybe right cameras.
Yeah.
It might.
I was hoping he had the monopoly on pause here, but no.
Nah. Sometimes the app be bugging out. I don't know why it does that sometimes.
No love.
Sounds. You might have to like exit back and then go back into the app. Should be bugging out sometimes. Yeah, exactly.
Nah, they don't like Cam.
Nah, no Cameron.
Maybe I gotta put the apostrophe for Cam and Ron. Is that it? Nah.
I know they had a whole bunch of NBA sounds I was looking through.
There might be some good ones. I just gotta think. Like, there's definitely good sound bites. I just don't know how useful they would be.
Useful they're gonna be in a serious conversation.
Yeah, or like Allen Iverson talking about practice. He's like, practice? But when the fuck are we gonna talk about practice? So I added 2. I got Dr. Umar.
I beg your pardon.
I beg your pardon. And then I got the Nelson. Oh. There we go.
Yeah.
This is good though. I feel like I'm going to use, there was one I saw before that I'm going to use a lot. Gunshot, I'm hitting a lot.
I'm trying to hit a couple of these.
I saw I Love China for You. I saw that happening. Where was the one?
Classic ones.
This is great. Yeah, this is gonna be good. Bruh. That might be the one I hit, because you have some wild ass stories. Just middle of your shit.
I'm crying.
2 fucking kids at an electronics store.
What's that? How about the other day I got catfish and it cost me $18?
Oh, it's not too bad.
Nah, that wasn't too bad.
No, it's like that's like an entry fee. Like, you gotta risk $18 and see where it goes. It's only $18.
It should have cost me nothing.
You took the tolls, is what you're saying.
No. Cause I was not confrontational enough to be like, all right, you're a catfish. Get out of my car and don't ever speak to me again. So that's why it had cost me $18 because I was just not confrontational enough. Oh, she sat in my car.
She sat in your car asked for $18? Like, what happened? Where did this $18 go?
$18 actually went because first of all I had to buy a pack of backwoods because I was like, I left my weed at home, and she was like, nah, I got my weed, so let's roll up. And I was like, damn, I ain't got no wood, I ain't got nothing to roll up in. So I go to the store, all they got is packs of 5 for $8 of backwoods.
But you buy the backwoods and it's her weed?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you did you take the backwoods home?
I did take the backwoods.
I don't think you lost out. I don't think you can count that.
I still got 4 backwoods in the pack.
I don't think you can count that 8 though.
You can't count that.
You still own the prize, yours. You got weed out of it. I think weed has more value than the backwoods. So I think you're only down $10.
So that was the first 8
I feel you. It's
of
still
the situation. And then the next 8 was she was like, because I made up an excuse immediately. I was like, oh man, a friend of mine is coming over. I got to go see him or whatever. And I made up.
Bad catfish.
It
wasn't even worth it.
It was my Android does something that my iPhone doesn't. Like whenever you send a phone number, I can click on the phone number and highlight it, and then if I swipe up, it Google searches the phone number.
I think this is a good time to talk about how Androids, but specifically a Google phone, is superior. But go ahead. It is a way you have both. We'll get to that conversation later, but go ahead. So
I scroll. She sent me the number, and I didn't even know my phone did that. So I copy it to like put it into my messages, but then I scroll up, and it Google searches it. And the first thing is a escort site that pops up.
Nice.
With this girl's pictures or whatever on it.
Nice.
And then I read the first comment, and it was like, that's not even the same girl. She had a ton of makeup on in the pictures. And then something about some deodorant. I'm not even going to get into that. But
bitch was eating deodorant.
So it was more like she needed some deodorant. That's what it said. She didn't smell too bad to me, but it was along the lines of she needed some deodorant or whatever. And then I was like, I read that comment and I was like, this person's probably hating, they get their money's worth. So they got upset about it. So I was like, yeah, they probably hate it. So I went anyways. bad mistake. I should have just stayed home. I wasted $18 in like 5 hours, 4 hours.
So, is it like she's ugly or is it like she's fat?
She
Or
was
both?
a little bit of both.
A little bit of both. A little bit of ugly, a little bit of fat. Ain't bad.
Mostly it was the ugly factor that got me, because in the picture
yeah.
she had filters and makeup and a
And it
whole
was
lot
just
of
it
cover up.
just-
So yeah,
You think she does like meth?
No,
Alright,
no,
I was left
no.
field,
I
my
don't.
bad.
I don't think she does meth, but I think she doesn't present herself the way she does in pictures and stuff like that. So, all right, let me finish getting back to the last $8 of the situation.
8 was the backwards.
I said 16.
I think you said 18. My bad.
I think I said 8 and 8. So
16, yeah.
16. So it was 8 and 8.
This is so redundant.
I'm ready to drop her off back at her house after we smoked a blunt. She's like, no, let's go grab some pizza. Like, it'll only take 5 minutes. It's right up the block. This and that.
Hungry.
So we drive to like the Dollar Pizza store on J Street, which is not a Dollar Pizza anymore.
No.
This shit is a
No, I
dollar.
don't know if you can find that anymore, man. There's like one left in West Village.
For $1?
Maybe like 1-2 Bros Pizza left.
So I go to the pizza shop. I get 2 slices for her, 1 slice for me, 2 cans of soda. So that's where the other $8 went.
You have to eat to live. So you can't count your portions. I feel like you lost $4.
So I can't count my $2.50.
Nah, cause you ate. You got something for that. It went away.
My $3. I think it was $3.
You got something for it. It went away. You got some food. If anything, you might have came out better on the deal because it might have cost you more to eat somewhere else. You might have got something a little bit more because you might have got Burger King instead of dollar slices or
She
whatever.
wanted burgers, but I was not.
She wanted burgers, but it wasn't. She had too many.
It wasn't a burger night. No, it definitely was not a burger night.
Was it a burger night? Is great. Oh man, that's good. We lived through you. I feel like every week you're gonna have at least one of those type of stories. So how did you get rid of her? You told her you had an excuse.
Yeah, I made up an excuse. I told her that one of my friends was coming over and she wasn't trying to hang out with other people, and yeah, so I had to drop her off.
Was she trying to fuck? Was she trying to bone?
I that was another part of the story that also was like, nah. She said she was on her period.
Yeah, you out here looking like the bottom of a timberland. You can't be in here hanging out. Nothing to offer.
Yeah. So her prices. I looked at her prices on that site. They were looking mighty crazy. They were like, I don't even know, $2.40 for an hour.
I feel like part of the game is like you just throw a wild number up there and you see when they hit you up, see where you land, right? Because if you're not worth $240, but you're not gonna get $100. But if you put $240, you might get $100, $150, and the guy think he got a discount. That's the only way. Yeah, she had a lot of reviews. They got prostitute sites with reviews.
Yeah,
That's
they
crazy.
got some with reviews.
That's
And,
so crazy. But I get it. It's a day and age. You gotta yoke the pussy.
everybody got some type
I
of
beg your pardon.
way of selling, marketing themselves, and the internet is that place.
That's yeah. The crazy thing is like. Because that's like the oldest job. That's the oldest profession of all time. Before there were jobs, you bartered with pussy. Like, I have shorty over there. Come rock your world and give you this land and that cow. That's how they got down, man.
Yeah, those are the good old days. They do say it's the oldest.
The good old days is crazy.
The oldest profession.
Can you imagine you have to give up your bitches to the 1%? Like, Elon, I ain't got my subscription for X this month, but
And then take my wife out to pasture. Right? One of those.
that's crazy. Take her out to pastures. Wow.
That's hilarious. Yeah, but getting back to the other topic that you were talking about. Yeah, iPhones and Androids.
All right, you have both. I've had both, and I've had both at the same time. there is a bias to me, but there's a bias because one is better than the other. And I believe, specifically Google phone, is the best phone you can buy. And you look at like the price, you look at the tech, you look at the company, you look at the synergies with other apps. Like we all have fucking Gmail, we all have all these Google apps, the Google Calendar, Notes, all that shit. So we might as well just give it up, man. Just leave the cult.
They devalue themselves very,
they have to.
very fast.
They don't have the pop culture behind them. They're not the cool phone.
And benchmark wise, iPhones are still on top. That's a nerdy way of saying the specs go faster, computer go faster.
No, not with the new. Well, maybe the Droid, but the Google has some new process. They make their own chips now. Google makes their own fucking chips, bro.
I honestly think that iPhone is still better. Just for an example, I have CarPlay and I can't get it to work on Android for nothing. Like that shit, you got your CarPlay working?
No, I don't use CarPlay. My shit just like syncs to the navigation system.
On your on the phone?
Yeah, and I just open Tidal. I'm gonna switch to Spotify soon. I had Tidal when Jay-Z was the owner. Thinking they would give an artist more money. And it was the same price. But now I got it with Spotify. They got mixtape songs and this shit.
Spotify has just taken over the game, you know. It went Napster, LimeWire, Spotify. So,
Yo, remember like Kazaa, BearShare, all these other off-brand apps?
they had DatPiff.
Oh, DatPiff. I don't even know
Mixtapes.
why in the world DatPiff doesn't exist anymore. Like, if we all put $1 in, we could have a server just hold that shit down forever. Because, like, my mixtape was on DatPiff with 50,000 downloads. And whenever I went to brag, I would just pull up the link and be like, look, I got 50,000 downloads.
Somebody
Nah, that shit is
listening
gone.
to it.
That shit is gone. Like, just a fucking, just a fable. Who knows? I might as well just up it to 100,000 now. You can't fucking discredit it.
Somebody got it downloaded.
Yeah, I forgot the number for downloads. A few thousand downloads, but these is listening.
It's in the cloud. They say everybody's got a digital footprint somewhere. Just
So
all
Google
out
emailed
there.
me the other day, and they were like, "Yo, information popped up on you on the internet." And I opened the email, and like my phone number was listed on one of those reverse lookup sites. And he was like, "Do you want us to try to remove it?" I was like, "Yeah." Within a day, Google was like, "Yo, we got that shit up out of there." And I'm like, "That's what's up. What type of protection I need in life? Somebody save me from the raping of the internet."
Quantum computers. They say Google just opened up a portal to another dimension.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that's my number one holding stock wise. I got over 20 bands in there, where half the money was profit. So if I'm close to 30, half of it is all profit, and that's only in my retirement account. I also got 100% uptick in like just a fund account. I buy stocks on Cash App too.
On Cash App? Yeah, I do Robinhood.
I bought my first.
Robinhood kind of guy.
I made my first investment in Robinhood the other day, just to like play with the interface. I got $10 worth of like SPY ETF. I just bought an ETF.
Got you.
Oh no, it was S&P. I bought the S&P 500 for $10. I might buy another $10 and just throw that in there randomly.
My biggest holding right now has got to be Tesla. They was been on fire.
It got to come down.
Yeah, it came down actually substantially yesterday. It dropped like a good 6%.
It's a lot when you're at that price.
Yeah, it definitely dropped. But still up. Definitely still
People are
up.
assuming that Elon Musk is going to be able to do a lot more than he can, I think, with this upcoming position. And that's baked into the price. It's going to drop like another 10%.
I'm probably gonna get rid of the rest of my shares.
Keep a little or not.
Still probably gonna try to keep like 50 shares if I can. But I think ETFs are the safe bet and they're the way to go.
Yeah, you just got to get where the winners are. And slow money is the best way. You don't want to lose your money. It's your fucking hard work money. Park that shit. I had this idea. Every month, I would open like a CD, certificate of deposit, at like 4% for either 6 or 12 months, right? So let's say, just for an example, it might just be this amount, but it might be more. I put $100 each month in a different CD, right? So the next year I have $104. Ooh, well, I made $4. But then I add another 100 to that 104, and I have 204, and I put it in for another 6 or 12 months, and I do that every month. And when the next year comes, I just add another 100. I feel like in 5-10 years, with the 4% compounding and like so much, and you just keep on adding to it, you got a safe bet of some serious change. There's a way to do the math. I just haven't sat down with it, but I'm thinking about doing it because $100 a month is nothing, and it's automatically growing. Instead of having 100, you can't buy a single share of Google or Tesla for $100. You buy fractional with, they'll feel the same.
No, I mean there's definitely websites that you can Google which. Uber is a good one under $100. You got a few good stocks that are under $100.
Guaranteed 4%, even if it's only 4%. Because I have the other money that doing bigger risk anyway. You get a guaranteed on the side, just a generator. I've been having to talk to lawyers. I have to open this trust for my daughter. My grandfather wants to help me get some land for her in Florida. But minors can't own land, so I've been talking to fucking lawyers. This shit gets so complicated, but there's some good ones out there. And then I realized, like, no funny shit, man. This is Florida, so this is a red state. You have to have a lawyer from that county. The white lawyers I called, man, they're really, I don't know if it was after I told them my last name or something, they were just like real, like, I don't know if they even wanted my money. It was just like off-putting. And then I started calling some minorities, some women, and they were the most helpful motherfuckers in the world. Gave me a ton of free advice. The other lady was like, yeah, this is the free consultation. The next one, $300 an hour. And I was just like, all right, sweetie. I didn't call sweetie, but I was just like, This is getting a little too bumpy for me, for something like I'm the customer here. I'm putting money in your pocket. Like, it's just, you should be happy I called you, and not like, ugh. So I'm working on that, but I gotta go down to Florida in January.
So what happens in this trust? Does she get it after she turns a certain age?
At 18, she gets this like, it's like at least an acre and a half.
Planning on building on it, anything of that nature?
So with that type of land, I feel like you could build a couple of houses to sell, and then keep some of that land for yourself and build like a nice mansion.
Yeah, I mean, building a house in this economy is crazy right now, especially down where they're having trouble with getting labor.
Florida, come on, I gotta do some good labor down there, man. That's like direct. That's like direct. You know, I'll bring them. I'll go get some.
Said I work my own hands over there.
How many guys you need? Pause.
I mean, then they have like small houses and structures you can buy pre-built. Maybe you could look into stuff like that.
Just plot that shit right on the motherfucker.
Put it right. I mean, you have to get zoning laws, permission, and
you
all
gotta
types
get
of
the lawyers,
stuff.
Man, that's where it's at. Get your lawyers up, and they go read all about it and tell you the simple shit that you need to know.
The lawyers, they specify in certain areas because there's always a divorce lawyer, there's a real estate lawyer, there's a criminal lawyer.
I should have went to like sports law or real estate law, but fuck it, we did it. Where's a wow?
Well, I mean, passing the bar seems like if you study hard enough, you can understand their language.
There's a practice test you can take, which is like from real questions. And for fun, I started like messing around with it, and I didn't get many wrong. But it takes a minute because it's like a paragraph per question. So you have to sit there and you have to read that motherfucker 2 or 3 times and like almost damn near write out the relationship for yourself.
Yeah,
and know the terms. You gotta know payee, guarantor, guarantoree, and shit like leasee and
that's what she said.
Leaseor and.
Yeah, well, I mean, passing the bar seems like something if you put you just like anything else, passing the electrical exam. If I put enough time into it, I could probably do that too. But it seems like something you gotta understand their language and follow the text, know where to look up the text and that type of stuff. It gets very, very tedious.
Yeah, but even in this free consultation, the question she was asking was so tedious. It was all right. If this happens, where does the trust go to? If that happens, where does it? I was like, oh shit, you got me thinking about death a lot today.
So you gotta put in the work and write out all these
airplane
paperwork.
Explodes. Yeah.
It's crazy work.
He's heating up.
But yeah, I gotta take that trip to Fort Lauderdale and then drive up.
That's a crazy drive. You ever drove to Florida?
No, I want to fly to Florida and then drive from Lauderdale. I did do that drive, but not the whole thing. I did like a piece of it. I think you did that, no?
I refuse to do that drive.
I think people don't realize how long 24 hours is.
Especially in a car.
Bro.
Like, that's crazy amount of time.
Like, there's no amount of music. Like, what are you going to do? 24 albums?
Well,
what are you going to listen to?
For me, I have a autopilot that drives, it steers, brakes, gas in the middle lane. So I haven't done it yet, but I do plan to take a road trip, and I'm just going to sit in that middle lane, turn on that autopilot, and put a movie with some shades on,
Bro.
Watch the movie,
All right.
and
Can you explain?
Just take that
He
road.
installed his own autopilot. So he bought a third-party autopilot, probably from where?
I love China.
You love China. Probably got it from China. And this third-party autopilot you've hooked up to your car.
I mean, it's manufactured in China, but it's an American company.
Okay. And I was in your car on FDR one time, and you actually put it on, and it worked.
Yeah.
It did work. But I gotta admit to you, watching the way the wheel was just moving by itself is kind of scary. Like, it catches you a little beat. And I think if you do a long road trip doing this, you're gonna start getting distracted.
I think that if we're somewhere out of New York City, the roads aren't as narrow and they aren't as messed up. So I really believe that if you go out of state anywhere else, you'll be okay. I don't think it's such a big deal. And yeah, I'll just probably throw a movie on the, because I have the console hacked as well. Because normally it does not let you play movies on your center console because you'll get distracted. But there's jailbreaks for your iPhone, and well, I'm sure they have them for Android too. But for the life of me, I can't get Android Auto to work on the fucking car. It's like the hardest thing ever to get to work. iPhone just works. I plug it in, it turns into my phone screen. That's what I mean between the two that is different. I have to work on an Android to get certain shit to work. With iPhone, it just works. I plug it in and it
doing
just
this
works.
shit, man, making that shit harder. Same thing with the fucking SMS text and the RCS and all that. They purposely want to make that shit look like having an Android is third world.
They should just integrate it with
They
iPhone's
should.
iMessage already.
They truly want to. iMessage is like, nah.
Yeah, it's gonna take a court order before that actually happens. But yeah, like I said, iPhone just works. That's why I prefer iPhone, and I'm actually thinking about going back. I still am using my Android at the moment, but I plan on going right back to an iPhone.
I'm gonna get the Google Fold at some point.
Google Fold. Maybe they make a 3-fold next time.
She's gonna be fucking
A
whole
4-fold.
panel.
A 4-fold.
That's the crazy thing about like
should be stacked
phone
like
culture.
that.
It just doesn't stop. It's just like, why do we have 3 cameras on our phone? You just need one really good one. But they have 3 to balance the lighting. This one for that lighting or angle, and there's like 3 to 5 fucking cameras on each phone. What are we doing?
Origami this tablet out of your pocket.
Yeah. You have a
for the
cube
future,
and
that
just-
shit is gonna fold in mad different corners, and it's just gonna be a tablet in your pocket. It's just gonna be some tiny square, like a square.
You gotta
that you
believe
just
somebody's
toss
already
in
trying
and
to
it's already
develop
just-
that.
I mean, they have the threefold in China.
They do?
Huawei.
Oh,
has
I've
the-
seen that brand.
Huawei has the threefold, but they actually became banned in the United States, I believe, in like 2020, 2019, something like that. They got
Chinese
banned
government getting crazy.
because, you know, if they flood the market over here with those phones, it'd be over. Like, everybody else wouldn't be able.
Roll up.
Gotcha.
Oh, I could roll. But I also think it's really a fucking like a homeland security issue. Appreciate it. Like I think like they banned that and TikTok because the Chinese government is just fucking taking all of our data and our secrets and everything. Like, do you know why they don't want TikTok?
They say it's a threat to national security, but I doubt it.
So what the app allows, I guess, the developers or owners of the app to do. Appreciate you. Pretty much, it can copy your everything you type into your phone. So it copies what you press, like the areas on your phone that you press, and then they know, well, if it's this phone, then if you press these areas, this is what you spelled out, pretty much. So essentially, they have, if you use TikTok, and I have TikTok on my phone, they have all your passwords, everything you've ever typed into your phone. They have that information, and that's why they want to stop it. Yeah, in a sense, but they got it all, and it's just like, all right, well, at any point they could just expose everybody who's ever downloaded TikTok or steal all their money.
I mean, that would be a chaotic thing, but I'm sure they must know all of this already. Since I mean, you know, they must have known. That's why they're trying to ban them. But
Yeah, they figured it out.
these people have definitely engineered phones. They've done it. Reverse engineered.
Well, we've got cell
they can
phones from
make,
fucking aliens, which is a great segue into my next question for you about these drones. So, what are we thinking? I don't know if we talked about this last time, but there's a rumor going around that these are like looking for a lost nuclear weapon. Did you hear about that?
No.
There's like a nuclear warhead that's not accounted for, and these are drones like thermo scanning areas trying to find this lost nuke.
That's crazy.
I don't believe
Some
it. 'Cause
Terminator shit.
yeah.
They coming back from.
I don't believe this is true because I'm like, how the fuck do you lose a nuclear warhead? I'm gonna give some confidence here. Like, we have some protocols in place where that's not a thing. But they're like, no, it's from the fucking Cold War. Somehow, when we set up shop in Poland, one went missing during that time. I was like, all right, what the fuck is we looking for it now?
That's crazy. I mean, there was a picture of NYPD with a giant drone. But
Yeah.
I don't know if it was true or not.
No, they found one, but they were saying that was like some startup company. They had a party and they left it behind.
That shit was a giant. It looked like a
big spider.
tire.
She was first of all, it looked like a small ass cop. It looked like a stick at the 5'2" cop carrying the 60-inch fucking paws.
That shit was. So is his chest over there?
It's unbelievable. So this is what they say. Some of them drones is the size of fucking SUVs.
Yeah, and they were
What are we
looking like
doing?
that. How about what happened in Miami? Did you see footage of the people running out and they said it was a fight, and they had like the whole police force there? What you think about that one?
I didn't. What
You didn't see-
happened?
that one was a while ago.
The
that
police
one
were fighting.
Nah, not the police was fighting. They say that people were fighting, but it was the people that were there was stating that they saw creatures that were not real,
No, for
were
real?
not of this world.
That ass?
You didn't see that one?
Not at all.
This is old.
What is happening?
This is the official footage of them with all the cops out there.
Closer than you got to the aliens. Let's talk about those 10-foot tall aliens that were roaming around the Miami Mall, which is somehow taking social media by storm. So on New Year's Day, video was released showing an insane amount of cops flocking to the Miami Mall. The police later said that 4 teenagers were detained and faced charges of burglary and grand theft. People online were instantly like, what are you hiding? Because that's a lot of cops for arresting a couple teenagers. So one person who claimed they were there starts talking online about how there were 10-foot tall aliens walking around, UFOs, yada yada, which is what the police were really going after. In reality, those rascals that thought a New Year's Day brawl would be fun also brought fireworks which were set off. The reason so many police showed up for something so simple is because people thought it was an active shooter. But too late, the alien theory has won the internet, and now people are dissecting a blurry video claiming this must be the alien. The guy even said in a follow-up video he was kidding about his story and he's never even been to Miami, but it's too late. People that believed him are now convinced the government went after him specifically to cover up his story. But what about that blurry?
That was in Miami Mall. This had to be like 2 years ago, a year ago.
I'm gonna say that it was not a 10-foot alien walking through the Miami Mall. Gonna go out on a limb.
I don't know. I mean, why would everyone run for just a few people fighting?
You had the fireworks, man. No, the fireworks. Somebody said active shooter. They started running.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna go that route with this one.
Sounds
I like it. I do believe they're aliens, and I think they're like superior beings. So like, I feel like they would know not to just walk through the Miami Mall.
Said like they shopping for Louis.
Like, what are we doing here?
He said they trying to get dripped out.
No,
in a galactic
they're gonna land
drip.
in the Midwest where there's mad empty desert and shit, and just open land, and go from there. They're gonna fucking land in a dense city.
It's a galactic drip. They came for the Louis.
Finley,
Finley, that product.
They stopped by Pandora charm bracelet store and got some sterling silver.
Yeah, I mean,
I wouldn't be surprised if there's like, cause like there's a lot of like stories that are pretty consistent about aliens like in the ocean, like spaceships diving into the ocean and coming out of the ocean, and like octopuses aren't from this world, and like electric eels aren't fucking from this world.
Are you a flatline believer?
No, that's one of the most dumbest things in the fucking world. I can't stand. Like, I haven't heard one good argument for it.
I mean, there's a lot. I don't think the Earth is flat, but
Earth is not
some
fucking
people
flat,
say
man.
Space doesn't exist. There's a lot. Space doesn't exist. The Earth is flat. Yeah, there's a lot of theories out there. Antarctica is passed into different
spaces exist. What the fuck is the moon?
worlds.
What is the moon?
They have like if you look this up, they have a world map where they say if you go past Antarctica, there's like other giant civilizations outside of the ice walls.
Okay, well, maybe.
And that we're living in a tiny part of what this place really is.
Okay, I'm not too mad at it. I'm not too whatever. Sure, I'm not too angry at that. Just some of these other ideas are just like there's no space. What the fuck are you talking about?
That's what she said.
Like you just don't understand space. There's what do we?
Say, I mean, I don't know.
Like outside of or like the moon and the sun. Like
it's
you think
hard
we're
to
in a
cast a
cartoon?
reality on anything other than what you can see and touch. So, I mean, I don't know, but I do believe that the world is still round and we're still on a space. We get on a spaceship. We're on a giant rock floating through space.
Yeah, I do. The Earth is absolutely round.
It's,
And like a lot of times, if I'm around people, like let's say new people come to the circle, let's say we're out somewhere, and I just hear one inkling of this conversation amongst people, I tell myself, I'm getting the fuck away from them. Get these fucking people away from me. Because there's always one that's like really believes it. Like, no, it's fucking flat. And then their reasoning is always so fucking stupid. I had a friend who was convinced Earth was flat. He sent me a page from some NASA document, right? And then I read this page, and I'm like, this doesn't say that the Earth is flat. This is saying that they're conducting an experiment to see if the Earth is flat. It's just like telling you that's what the experiment is about. It's not a conclusion. And I'm just like, and when I said that, it kind of just disappeared for a while. Like he looked. I guess he looked back at the fucking document and realized, oh shit, it does. Bro, just read the shit, man.
I mean, they've had videos of NASA talking about how hard it is to leave the atmosphere. I'm like,
yeah.
Don't we do that regularly?
Not too much. Not as much as you think.
Haven't we?
But maybe that's why it costs a fucking $1 trillion to do it.
Been on the moon.
I don't know if we've been on the moon. Like, I'm okay with those conspiracies. Not a bad one. There's legs behind it, right? You got the space race with Russia. You want to show them we got up there first, or whatever, or it's been done in tandem. I get it. You know, you could say, why is the flag waving and shit like that? Good, you got some good stuff. I'll even take some conspiracies for 9/11. But a lot of these shits is bullshit. I'm with you. Shit is shaky. Shit is shady. But I think what happens is once you catch a couple that are real, you start questioning everything. And then you don't want to be the dickhead that start believing shit and being naive, and that was the conspiracy that you were wrong on. And you didn't think it was a conspiracy, but it was.
We could talk about conspiracy theories all day. We switch topics.
Yeah, that should go.
It's like an infinite rabbit hole right there.
Like a lot of anti-vaccination stances just, to me, contradict themselves. There's like, I'll disagree vehemently, but there's certain arguments that if you say, I just don't believe in it, or I'm not like the Kyrie Irving shit. It's like, all right, cool, you don't want to take it for your body, I get it. But at the same time, you can't be mad if I own a bagel spot and I'm like, nah, I want everybody vaccinated to come in here. You gotta be vaccinated. That's what they wanted to do.
Did you get vaccinated?
I did get vaccinated. Everybody I know got vaccinated. Every NBA player, every president got vaccinated. Donald Trump got vaccinated.
I did not get vaccinated. And it was just, it seemed like something I didn't want to do. And, yeah.
And if they're like, you got to show a vax card to get in the club and you ain't got it,
imagine they bring that back.
He might, with this motherfucker coming back, we might get some new shit.
That might be insane. The new variant.
Do you remember when we went to Miami?
BS.
And we go to like the first like little nice spot, and we're in there, and I'm at the bar. And we got masks on, and you tap me, and you like, yo, D, we the only two motherfuckers in here with masks on. And I looked, and there was like one girl in the corner with a mask, but like 300 people maskless. And I was like, oh, we probably look like two douchebags right now. So we had to take. It was rough. It was rough. I ain't gonna lie, I had to give in. And I was in 2020, but that was towards the end of the year. I had to take the mask off and just risk it.
That was when we was in Florida, right?
Yeah.
Shout out to Florida, facts.
I don't know, I felt like they did you dirty on that trip. That's the trip you got the car towed, I think.
Oh, yeah.
I felt bad for you on that one. We pulled over in a legal spot to eat. And I don't know what happened, actually.
I kind of remember that.
I don't know if that's why the approach happened or afterward.
They just pulled. Okay, so I do remember that story. They pulled up behind me and they were just telling me to move. But before they were telling me to move, they told me they were going to run the plates. I'm like, I don't care. I'm on vacation. Just showed you my ID. It's a rental. It doesn't even matter. It's not that big a deal. So they run the plates. They pull up on a horse.
Oh, yeah. I have a video I took as I was turning the corner. You were not apprehended. You were detained via horse.
He was
in Miami, like not a Central Park horse, NYPD horse.
He came out with a horse, and they ran the plates, and they said something about the plates not coming back to where they were supposed to come back to. I guess the car had a different registration, different than the plates, but the car wasn't coming back stolen. So I'm like, okay. I just showed you I'm on vacation. I got this from a rental place. They call the rental place. Rental place is not answering because they're in the airport. They don't answer for nobody. They're just...
If you're renting out $30,000 or more at a time, I would think you want to answer your fucking phone. So, you have cars on the road, bro.
So they tell me that they're going to tow the car because they can't figure it out. And I'm like, wait a second. So you're towing the car because you can't figure it out. But I'm not in trouble? Like, how does this work? Like, how do y'all tow my car without actually telling me that I did something
I feel like
wrong?
What they're supposed to do is wait. Like, keep calling. Like, why do we have to make a decision within 5 to 15 minutes? We're not in Vice City where this shit is a crime-ridden city like that. And you're not getting crazy calls, bro. Because you got time to run fucking random plates.
Yo,
Stay 30 minutes. You're on a horse. That's what you do.
Yeah, you're right. So they're very impatient.
They're like, nah, we got to wrap this up now. So, because you know why? Because when they call that tow truck or whatever they got to do to get in, there got to be some money swishing around, man.
Yeah.
You got to be some money swishing around.
There's always a third party. That's why you trying to stay out of the court's way on child support and all that good stuff. But anyways, yeah, they told me that they were going to tow the car because they couldn't figure out where it was coming back to. And I'm like, yo, this is crazy. And they take the car. I make a complaint with the company because they don't bill me. They just bill me for my time. Like, they don't bill me for anything else. They just bill me for my time.
And what you were supposed to pay.
I'm like, wait a second. I lost almost a day and a half. How am I paying the same price?
And y'all didn't answer the phone just because y'all didn't have the registration shit. Or you're right. You have a good argument here. You didn't have your paperwork right. You rent me a card that we would assume everything checks out. And then they run my plates. You don't answer the phone. I need the money back for the lost time.
I wasn't as savvy, so I think I ended up just paying the full price. I ended up paying the full price because right now, what I would do is dispute it with my credit card company. 100%. I would definitely do that
yeah.
like right now.
That's the thing. As you get an adult, you realize just tell your credit card to charge it, have the cash for it, pay right away, but don't pay with your credit. Just pay with your credit card and pay right away, so that if anything funky happens, it's not your cash.
Yep.
But you got to be disciplined and pay that shit right away when you swiping for things that are not problematic.
And I let the time go by, and yeah, but they really didn't charge me for no tow truck or anything like that. But it was just I lost a day and a half. I got inconvenienced, and it was terrible.
Do we want to name the company that it was?
Shoot, I don't even remember. I know. I actually gotta remember.
Damn, I was trying to hit him with the gunshot.
Trying to remember.
Damn.
It was definitely in Miami Airport, though. It was one of the companies in Miami Airport, in the physical airport. So.
Fucking cacksuckers.
Fucking terrible time. But yeah, other than that, I mean, I've been to Miami a few times. How many times you been to Miami?
Oh. I don't know. A lot. Maybe a dozen. Maybe 12 times. Like, I've had crazy. I went with Londi for his birthday, and that was the night. So he knows all these promoters in Miami because he's been down there probably dozens of times. This is my older brother, And so he knows these promoters, and this is during the time he owned a pizza shop. He's really up right now, and he's gonna celebrate his birthday to the best. So he's in the promoters. He finds out where the shit is for the night. Early in the night, he goes to this game. I don't go to the game because I ain't got the breath of the ticket. The breath of the ticket is nuts. This is Miami Heat versus the Knicks in Miami. This is when Carmelo Anthony, this is D Wade, this is LeBron James. This is when both teams is the best in the East. So he goes to the game, come back, whatever. He's telling me we're going to the spot. I don't even know. He's just telling me the name of it. We get ready. We go there. It's looking like a movie premiere outside. Like there's so many people like outside trying to get in, and my brother's like 5'7". I'm gonna give him 5'7". Walks right to the front. Sees this dude. He daps him like he's his brother. They talk for a split second, and I get a little bit closer to the conversation, and I'm hearing him go, "We don't have any tape." Like he's just like, "We don't have it. All of them are reserved for like celebrities. Like we're not bumping none of these dudes." And he's like, "The only one that like isn't even here yet, or like is still up in the air, they didn't put a deposit on, was Kanye." And he was like, "I can give you Kanye's section now. If he comes in or he shows up, you guys, we're gonna clear you out." So it's very possible we go in there, we set up for 30 minutes, we pay the extra for the bottles, and now we're in the middle ground just holding bottles, which looks terrible. He doesn't show up, so we had the section the whole night. In this club is most of the Knicks and Heat, except for those big three names. Like J.R. Smith was there. Steven Novak was there, who was scared out of his mind when me and my brother stepped up to him to say what's up. He looked like he was going to get robbed. Amari Stoudemire was there. Lil Wayne was there. Fabulous was there. Tiana Taylor was there. I met Tiana Taylor. I got a picture with her. ASAP Rocky was there. Every fucking body was there. And it was in the best nights. I don't think it was worth the price that my brother probably paid, but I got to stand like this close to Wayne, and as like the acknowledgement happened, like, "Oh, what's up, Wayne?" He's like, "Give me the heads up." A line of models, I guess, because he left his section as I was going to the bathroom. I guess to make sure these bitches get in. A line of models just walk through, and he just like he looked like a kid in the candy store. They go up to his section with him, J.R. Smith.
Sounds like a very
That's one of my favorite Miami trips.
Intense night.
It was crazy because it was like I can't get too drunk. I might fight somebody. I might fight a celebrity tonight, NBA player or something.
I've honestly gone to Miami a couple times, but one time I went and I got on a cruise. And on the cruise, it's a nice time.
How long where did the cruise go? I don't.
It went to this? It went to the Bahamas. It was a good time.
When the fuck did you go to the Bahamas?
This was a few years, definitely before COVID.
Okay.
Because when COVID happened, yeah, the cruise lines got hit hard. But anyways, they've been recovering very strong. Yeah. So I went to this cruise and it went to the Bahamas and it came back. And I like cruises. It's just there's not enough things to do after like
drink and gamble.
After one day, you've seen everything on this boat, and you're just trying to sit in a jacuzzi the rest of the time, and it's just
you gotta have a routine. Like you gotta maybe try. They have 2 or 3 breakfast spots. You gotta go in like a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then after that. You shower, whatever. I used to go to the art shows because they used to hand out free champagne, and they had a free raffle. And one time I won the raffle. There was it was a contest. So I went to one in the morning with Malcolm, because Malcolm was pop. And I had some bread, but I wasn't trying to pay for all. We gotta get some free ones in here. So we go to the free art show during the day. Motherfucker walking around with the tray, fucking throwing them shits back, getting lit at like 11. The dude is like, "Yo, downstairs we'll have a painting, and you have to guess like how much it's valued at. The closest one to it gets a couple of bottles of wine, this, that, and the third." So I go down there just to do it, and I'm there by myself. Me and this dude, pause, and he's like, I swear to God, he's like, $72.39. As I'm filling out the form, I'm like, "What?" He goes, $72.39.
For your shots?
No, he's saying that's the price. He's giving me the answer to the fucking contest. So I put something like 72.40 or 72, like something like I didn't want to put it exactly on a dot, but I also didn't want to leave room for somebody to get lucky or some wild shit like that. So I put it very, very close, and then we showed up to the afternoon fucking one, and at the end of it, we had to sit through this whole shit, but I'm sitting through it knowing that I won. So I'm bullshitting, like I'm just there, happy, more engaged with the people. Before I'm just like trying not to talk to people because I'm not buying shit, I'm not bidding on nothing. I'm just coming here for the champagne. Now I bid on something too because I was like, I won. I bid on a Speed Racer, like painting or drawing, autographed by the original voice and the creator. And I was only like $55, not including like some wild taxes. But so at the end of it, she's like, and then for the contest, the total was 79.32 or 72.39. So Damien went, wow, very close. Jeez, this is almost spot on. And he said, my name. I went up there. I got like my 3 bottles of wine. I got this. They gave me mad artwork. I don't know if any of it's worth shit. They gave me mad like 2, and then they didn't even give it to me. They said you gotta go downstairs to get it. So I go downstairs. It's like, yeah, you can't have this because it exceeds a certain value. So you have to get it shipped to your crib. And I'm like, what? So I had to pay mad bread for shipping. I'm like, you gave me all these free ones that's taking up weight that I didn't want, but I don't know nothing about art. I don't know if this shit is worth money, and I got to take this shit because it's worth this move or not.
I said a Picasso.
Nah, most of them shits is cooked. I don't got none of them but the one I actually bought in the auction, the Speed Racer one. But I don't have it framed. It's just rolled up.
Oh,
like a tube.
Yeah, I mean, I bought some liquor on the boat, but they keep it in a suitcase until you land because they don't want you drinking that shit. They want to charge you high prices. I also didn't know that they have a full-on 3-course meal every day at a certain time in the dining room. I'm over here just eating buffet. I'm over here just eating buffet food.
You missed the food?
Well,
the dinner every night?
No. I actually caught it once. I believe.
That's the only time you get good food on them shits.
I think I caught it
the
once.
The buffet was type sus. Them burgers was sitting out and fries. And that shit was like mid.
Pizza and fries and Coca-Cola.
Oh, they had escargot
that shit
for dinner. But you gotta dress up a little bit. You can't, because especially if you don't go with a whole table's worth of people, you're gonna be sitting there with strangers. They assigned seats for people, and they were structured with it. You getting one of everything, like we said.
Yeah, it was pretty good food. I did eat some good food. I did eat some really good food. I think I only caught like 1 day's worth of meals or 2. I know I definitely missed 1 day. I was there for 3 days.
No, you missed one.
I know I definitely missed one. I'm pretty sure I missed the second one. I only caught the 3rd meal. But they had some good stuff like lava cake.
Yep.
Yeah.
The desserts used to go crazy.
It was like steak. I think I had steak. And
mine didn't have too much like internet going on. Like the internet was super sharp, super shaky throughout. Like you could get on a computer type joint, like a desktop and pay for it. And that was your best bet. And I did that one time. It was like 1G. It was bad. So I was really disconnected for like a week.
Starlink.
Yo, fucking Elon Musk.
Elon Musk, that's my guy.
No, we got to the Cayman Islands, and there's a bar right on the port, and it was like Wi-Fi, like free Wi-Fi with a purchase or something. Everybody's having one beer, and everybody was there in the Cayman Islands. I went to go find some bud, so I was on a mission to go get there. The mission was successful. I almost died. That's another story.
I have the same story.
Yeah, I was wearing all pink, thinking I was on some pretty boy poppy shit, and realized it.
The same
and then
story.
I had to kind of flex on homie a little bit, like, my man, ain't none of that happening. I'm from New York. We gonna figure this out or we not? And he was like, oh, you from New York? I said, yeah. He said, all right, respect, and gave me a pound. Pause. Then he was like, follow me, and this was also like, I felt like a GTA mission.
Yeah.
He's on a bicycle going down this windy road, and I gotta walk fast enough that he's in my vision, but not fast enough where it look like I'm following a bike, because he's going mad slow, just kind of like going back and forth. You get to this like area where like the buildings are still being built, like they're under construction in this part of the city. He's like, all right, $50 or some shit, $70. I give him the bread. He's like, I'll be right back. And I was like, fuck. He got me. The old fashioned, I'll be right back. And he rides off and he goes, like, the road he went behind this building, and the building blocks where he went after that. So I wait. It felt like 20 minutes. It was probably like 1 minute, 2 minutes. And I'm like, all right, let me go see what's behind this building. Like, where the fuck could he have gone? And I look behind, like, I angle myself behind the building, and two dudes with machetes just chopping down, like, the area, like some tall weeds or whatever. And they stopped and they looked up, and I was like, damn. Like, I knew I could have beat them in a race for sure. I was like, let me get the fuck back where I was sitting. I'm waiting, and then now I see him coming up that road, winding. And he gave me this big bag of bush. And I was like, yo, you got any papers, though? Son reached in his pocket, gave me like 6 loose papers stuck together in a ball. I went to the beach, and like it was like a Corona commercial. I was looking at the big-ass ship, and I tried to light and smoke a J. The wind was going crazy. It was terrible, but...
I literally have the same story. The only
Same
difference,
guy.
the only difference with me was, only difference for me was they thought I was from there, and then when they noticed I was not from there, they were like, "Who is this guy?"
Oh no!
And
That might be worse. They thought you was one of them, imposter among us.
Eventually, I just got my stuff and got up out of there.
You was hanging out with motherfuckers?
No, I mean, I had to wait there just like you. Somebody gave some bread and thought I got. Literally the same story.
Yo,
just went off the strip somewhere, and some dude was like, yo, I got some bud. I asked for some bud, and he said he had bud, and then I went and followed him. Well, not on a bike, but I followed him on foot for maybe 3-4 blocks, got it to the back of some not abandoned houses, but that's how they live, in like sheds and stuff. And stood there waiting, went into like a random ass shed. I'm waiting outside, I'm waiting, people coming up to me, talking to me, and realize I'm not from there. I'm like, all right, I'm just getting something. I'm trying to get up out of here. But yeah, basically the same story.
That's how you get bud in the Cayman Islands. You gotta go through this rite of passage where they're not doing hand in hands, they doing I'll come backs. They're doing I'll be right backs.
Yeah.
They're not doing that exchange. They don't got it on them. They gotta go to the one guy that got it. So they charging up top. My $50 is probably $20 worth. But you know what? Wasn't too bad of an amount. Shit was the MIDI of the MIDI.
That's what she said.
Nice. I was waiting for somebody to pull that one off.
Yeah.
I hit the I beg your pardon a few times. That's a killer.
Definitely.
I beg your pardon.
Definitely hitting the random soundboard sounds. But Starlink is definitely cool. If you live in a remote place, that's another thing. Could definitely get service out. It's expensive though.
The richest man in the world also has
Expensive.
the
That's
most
why.
data per dollar, probably.
That's
Oh,
why
about per dollar. Wow,
Tesla
man. But
is so expensive.
I think it's quite concerning that he has all this data. He has everything on everybody. And I can't let it drive me crazy. So it's like, am I watching the world come to an end, but I'm not the person yelling, telling everybody the sky's falling, and it could be my fault, and fuck it. It's too, you guys, not you guys, but you guys are just, I'm trying to tell you motherfuckers, you can't have the guy with all the money have all the data.
Well,
And then pocket his way in to the most powerful position in the world.
well, I was just not reading it. Well, I saw this headline. It said, "Is Elon Musk the true president behind the scenes?"
Yeah.
And I guess they got like a whole article on it. I was not trying to read it, but yeah, it was definitely.
Do you know how much money he donated himself to the campaign?
No idea.
Just think about like running a campaign. Yeah, I guess it's expensive, but you could ballpark like what it's not, like a price that's way too much, especially from one donor. Take it. Just throw a number out there. You gonna Google it?
No. I was looking at the price of Bitcoin. A number out there, 200 million.
Close. 250 million.
200 million. That's what I was
A
thinking.
$250 million he donated himself.
That's insane.
You don't think he's owed a couple things now? They're gonna deregulate some areas where he gets to be king.
So, every time I think about him, I
Here's your
start
conspiracy.
thinking about conspiracy theories. Exactly.
There's your conspiracy theory right there. Mine is the fucking rich are fucking us.
They got
Not so much a
tunnels
conspiracy theory.
underground.
We know it's happening. Same way some of these other ones we know are happening. But we're not doing anything about it, or there are some people that don't think it's happening.
Well, yeah. I mean,
I
it's
can't.
crazy.
I want a Tesla. I can't do it. I want one, but
You should get it then. What you said.
they gotta be. I gotta look up other brands, electric vehicles. Like, I got a Lexus EV. You kidding me? But they're not known as an EV, so I'm worried about that. They're known for good engines. You know, I don't know what their battery game is like, what their lithium is looking like. What do you got?
I have a Toyota Corolla hybrid. Gets like 50 miles to the gallon. It's a great car.
Now,
If you
how
wanna
much
be cheap.
miles do you get when you have a fully loaded charge?
Oh, it's a combination. So it runs off of gasoline, but it charges a battery, and it alternates. Is that the word?
Yeah.
The alternator charges the battery and it goes back. I believe so, but yeah, it's not a fully battery. Like I can shift to full battery, but there's no charging port.
So it's a combination, is what you're saying. So it's like it's gas driven, but the electric portion helps keep it going in a way. I didn't know that. I thought it was like I swear to God, my whole life, I thought hybrid was like you could choose to be in electric mode or you could choose to be in gasoline mode. I swear. Oh man, I wonder how many other people think that, or if I'm the only fucking idiot. I didn't know that's what it meant. Like that's why you get 50 miles to the gallon. It's like a boost. Oh, it's a high. All right.
It's a
No,
hybrid.
it's not dual option. It's a fucking hybrid.
So
Learning shit here.
I put gas in it and it gets me about 500 miles on like 25 bucks. It's pretty insane.
That's a steal.
It's pretty insane. I was gonna get a Mustang instead, but
Nah, I think you made the right decision.
I think just being cheap is the way to go.
I mean, I'm a fan of
Saving
like
money.
spending some bread and enjoying yourself, but I don't think you drive enough to own a Mustang. I feel like you're not out here sitting in front of the bar. I feel like you gotta have a leather jacket and like be dedicated to the cool guy persona to have a Mustang.
Right now, as it
Gamers.
is, I drive probably 5,000 miles a year.
Yeah. I was probably driving less until recently. Now I'm probably 15 on track for, but it's not gonna get there. I gotta figure out some other things.
So you're gonna get another car to drive
I thought about that.
instead, so you don't put all the miles on your regular car.
Thought about that. Thought about getting an EV for that, like the cheapest EV I can get, because then you maximize the profit because now you don't have as much overhead with the gas. But if I do that, I would like to do that like under an LLC, so that it's a company car and has different, it's different protections for it and shit like that.
Yeah.
So that's if I'm committing to that path or like that way of like side hustle. I might not. I'm trying not to. I don't think. I don't want to be cramped up in a car all fucking day.
How many hours do you do now?
Depends. So like some days up to 8, some days 4, some days 5. Like today's been a weird day because I had just a few long trips that put me out of my zone where I could pick people up. So after the first couple of trips, I went home. I did a trip to East Rutherford. I was like, it's going to take me an hour and a half to go to the spot or an hour to my crib. And then if I get to the spot, we're going on the time where business goes down anyway. I'll come back out in the afternoon. Like 10 a.m., nobody's taking these trips. But if you get back at like 12, 1 p.m., they're taking trips. And then I got another trip to Queens. And then I was like, all right, well, I got to stop by here anyway. So Might as well just plug in, and then by the time, like, I'm gonna get up out of here soon because 3:30 people get out of school. People send Ubers to go pick up their kids and take them home because they're in work.
So you do the morning route, and then you're doing more like the afternoon route.
Yeah,
or
so like I
that?
would say I get out there like 7:30, but if I could get out there at 6:30 to 7, I'd make a little bit more, but I'll do that, and then I'll end it around 10. Then around 12:30, I head back up, start like around 1. And I do that to maybe 4. So I did like 6 hours. But sometimes if it's clicking or it wasn't clicking, like if it's one of those extremes, then I gotta stay out longer. Like if it keeps on going and I'm getting some good shit, I might as well ride that out. But if it hasn't been, I don't want to quit. But it's easy to be like, yo, fuck this, I want to go home. It's easy. Like you go 5 minutes without getting a thing, you be like, yo, fuck this shit. Just out here. You don't know if you should just stay parked, should drive around, nothing. You don't know what the fuck to do.
Might as well stay parked, no? Save yourself the gas.
That's
and
what you would think.
Headache.
But then you could look and see, they have a new feature, you could look and see how many other drivers are in that area. So you could be on it and you sit and park, and there's mad other cars right there. You're like, hold on, let me try to get somewhere where ain't as much.
And they're shifting and getting all the jobs.
It could be, because I'm thinking about it like I'm still new. I got a couple hundred rides under my belt. The algorithm will probably favor a lot of these other guys with a lot more rides under their belt.
Speaking of which, they arrested this guy. This was like last year or the
the
year
crypto
before.
thief? Oh, no.
They arrested this guy for selling these phones that had like some type of bots that would automatically get the bigger surcharge rides, and it would not get any of the other rides. He had like these burner phones. Oh man, I gotta look up a lot of these stories too.
You gotta hop on the web and see if you can find one of these. They have to still exist. You can hack everything still.
But it was some type of burner phone where they get some type of surcharge. But I believe that's illegal, and it's against.
It is. I'm never gonna break the law.
Well,
so
it might not be illegal to use, but it's
illegal
definitely illegal to sell.
Yeah, sometimes there's a loophole like
sure.
that because they haven't come across
Like
it
the
to write
Fire
that
Sticks.
legislation.
Kind of like the Fire Sticks. It's illegal to sell it to somebody, but if you do it and you just have it, I guess it's okay. But they had these burner phones that they had some surcharge thing going on, and he was selling them. It would pick up some crazy fares, and he got arrested. Man made like probably like a couple mil or something like that. So,
What's so crazy? I get it, because if you could just sell the phones and you don't really have to work. But I would have just kept that to myself for a little bit and just been pumping out crazy. I would have been doing 500 a day for a year, and I would have figured it out after that. Then I would have sold that one phone for 20 bands or some shit.
I honestly didn't even look into what type of phone it was or
you
what
got that
exactly
Chinese
was.
one, that Hawaii shit.
I'm gonna take a look at it. It was some type of a burner phone he had. Shit was crazy. I mean, is the only other way to get rich out here is buying cards and pulling packs.
Nah.
They got a card right now that they got a bounty for $250,000. I believe it is, and season tickets for the next 20 years to the Pirates.
Oh, I think I've seen that. It's like a rookie card or something.
Hillary Duff, who was it? I forget.
Give you a hand job.
We'll watch
Pittsburgh's very own.
We'll watch a show with you. We'll watch a
The
Pittsburgh
fuck outta here.
show with you. That was like,
hey, if you're gonna do that, you gotta give me her number ahead of time so I, throw some juice in the game a little bit so she's excited to see me. Not like, all right, we gotta sit next to each other and awkwardly talk about this movie. I'm trying to get to the point where movie's on, but we chilling.
The MLB patches they pull them off.
Yeah,
and they
the
put
rookie
them on
patches.
The card. Yeah, so they got. It was like, Hillary Duff will watch the show with you. I think it was Hillary Duff. I forget. I gotta look into it, but they got a crazy bounty on that shit.
I would tell them you gotta talk to the Yankees.
Trying to take his girl home. Hillary
Duff? Wait, Hillary Duff is the baseball player's girl? I don't even know how she got in this. That bitch can't hit. She got some hits. Have you seen JoJo Siwa? Are you familiar with JoJo Siwa? So she's like a music artist, and when she was out, she was very colorful, rainbows, unicorns, like just very like kitty-esque. And now she's like gothed out, and I don't know if this is part of like some marketing or if she's doing meth. But she's sounding crazy now. Her music has gone way dark, and before she was like, I'm telling you, she would wear a rainbow tutu skirt. Like,
Oh, I think I know who you're talking about.
with her hair and pigtails, one color blue, one color
She used
pink.
to dance on TikTok.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
She
yeah.
used to
Now
dance
she's
on
completely
TikTok.
goth. She's all black, everything.
That's crazy.
Looks like Sting, the wrestler.
That's insane. They had Amanda Bynes. She crashed out too. She was
You know, as
crashing
a
out
kid,
hella.
everybody our age, and this you could do this because Amanda Bynes. We were minors. We were younger than Amanda Bynes, I think. We all had crushes on her as kids growing up, and we're talking probably like 10-year-olds. And she was probably like 11, 12. We were like 10. But back in the day, Amanda Bynes as a kid, she was just on TV.
That's
You know.
yeah. All those kids that went to those
They all fucked up.
stars.
They all fucked up. They was
had
touching
too
all
much
of
money
their
too
butts.
fast. They had too much.
No, they was getting raped.
They had too
They
much
was
money
getting
too
their
fast.
booty holes touched to behind the scenes. Motherfuckers don't want to get another job after that. Say, oh, that's what comes with the business. Oh, that's the game right there.
Oh yeah, that's
That shit's mad hard.
Debut patch. I don't think the Paul Skeens is out there yet. I don't think anyone's hiding onto that redemption. I really do believe that it's just sitting in some hobby box out in the middle of nowhere waiting to be pulled. It's gonna be a
Oh,
massive
man.
payday
He doesn't
for that, with all the Christmas buying.
he doesn't say what the bounty is, but there's like a few
No, it was
different.
like 20 years of season tickets, $250,000 or some shit like
It
that.
might have been more. It was
I'd be
some
like, yo, it's the
crazy-
Pirates. You can keep the season tickets. Let me get,
What it's worth, right?
yo, let me get, how about this? Let me get $500,000, and then you got to put me in to pitch or hit at one point in the season. Because y'all not going to make, y'all not going to be good. Y'all going to make the playoffs. End of the year, let me get like a game's worth of at bats. Like, you can't DH unless it's against the American League and the ASA, but for NL. Let me do that. I don't even want to play the field. No, I just want to go up there and take a couple hacks or throw a couple pitches.
Yeah. So, what if they said, yeah, no problem, but it's gonna be $200,000 off our sale price? Like,
So how much am I getting? No,
whatever we paying you for
that's
your card,
against labor.
you paying us $200,000 to get on the field. Yeah,
I'd
no
say-
problem.
I'll say suck my dick, get my money. I'll be like, you know what? I'm gonna sell you a patch to your rival.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm like, get my money then. Run my shit before I use this patch to wipe my ass.
That's hilarious.
It makes you want to buy a
Yes.
box of cards though.
have-
Humans are so dumb. We think we're gonna get the one fucking card.
It's a lottery. That's just like playing the lottery.
I played the
wouldn't
lottery
do it.
last. I'm gonna do it again. I got 2 numbers right on the Mega Millions. 2 out of 5. Don't win no money for that.
Nah, no money for
If
that.
it was if one of them was the money, like the bonus ball, then yeah, you would have got like $10 plus the multiplier, so it would have been like 40 or $50. But no, nothing that was I got. But so it was positive. I got 2 numbers on the board, so I felt like, all right, I just gotta do it again to have another drawing on Friday. It's $2. I wait until I drive into some weird area in New York, like some upstate area, and if I see a random gas station, that's where I go on, because no one in Queens or Harlem wins. Motherfuckers in Scarsdale win.
He said that's a good thing. Maybe you look up the statistics as to where the New York people have won the New York lottery.
But then-
People in New York
yeah,
State
but-
have won that lottery, but then it'll go all the way up to like Albany or something.
No, but I don't know about that, because if they've won it there, am I thinking, all right, I don't want to be there because they've already won, or are we thinking it's a hot spot? Because I don't think the odds of the area getting hit twice are even worse. So like if I see that where it has it, I just got to get some random town. That's where it's gonna come from.